on the ground in Kyiv, Ukraine's capital, where we've seen some of the main leaders from the coalition of the willing meeting with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky to make what they claim to be a major announcement and a challenge to Russia and its President Vladimir Putin to agree to a 30-day ceasefire or face new and massive sanctions as part of the first step towards a lasting peace in that region. Two massive big breaking news for you in the last hour. It all started with the India-Pakistan conflict. India's Foreign Secretary holding a press conference, Vikram Misri, saying that the Director General of Military Operations in Pakistan called his counterpart in India at 7:30 p.m. Australian time. That's just after 3:30 in the afternoon Indian time. Agreed that both sides would stop all fighting and military action on land and in the air and sea with effect from 5 p.m. local, that's 9 p.m. Australian time. So that happened earlier today. And the Indian Foreign Secretary saying that those two Director Generals of Military Operations for Pakistan and India would speak again at midday on Monday, May the 12th. That's 4 p.m. Monday afternoon, Australian Eastern Time. Pakistan's airspace has reopened in the meantime. So things going along in a positive direction as far as that ceasefire is concerned. And then the news we've just been hearing from out of Kyiv, the main leaders meeting President Zelensky there were the French President Emmanuel Macron, UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk, and of course the new German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. And they agreed after a phone call with US President Donald Trump, who was part of this agreement to challenge Russia's President Vladimir Putin to agree to a 30-day unconditional ceasefire. They don't want to hear any conditions attached to this. He must agree to it by Monday or face new sanctions. Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, calling this Europe stepping up and calling Putin out, describing the current 72-hour ceasefire announced by Russia unilaterally as a smokescreen. Of course, both Russia and Ukraine saying that either side have broken that current ceasefire. So this is a major move to try and make any cessation in hostilities far more permanent in that region. All the leaders in the coalition, the willing, saying they're united in this approach. And the French President Emmanuel Macron even going as far as to say that this is the first step and that what they will do to guarantee Ukrainian security going forward is to carry on bolstering Ukrainian military resources. We heard from President Zelensky personally thanking the US President Donald Trump, saying that Trump continued to provide military aid and intelligence sharing to Ukraine. That was despite the disastrous meeting in the Oval Office last month, where it seemed like the US were going to give up, if you like, on supporting Ukraine. That has not happened. And now this new step with European leaders promising to bolster Ukraine's military strength as a future guarantee of security, but more crucially, in the next 48 hours, demanding that Russia and its President Vladimir Putin agree to this new ceasefire.